guy. If you don't know him, check him out. Join the UW PCM group, the Purple Caster Minions.
On
If
Facebook.
you, yeah, on Facebook. If you know anything about the UW guys, a lot of players in that group. So big shout outs to them. Plus, Matt Kopp might be throwing in some pack skins for some winners here. So, um, like I said, it's not something he did or didn't do. Why he got replaced? It's unfortunately he can't be here right
Actually,
now.
he had a family thing come up where he actually had to run and cover for something for his parents. So that came up, so he actually had to go. It was a legitimate reason. He didn't just make it up and fake an injury to get pulled off the field.
This is not soccer. This is legal. Ooh, no, I'm just kidding.
Oh.
So, Kabam, again, going to be looking for that high level, wanting to team fight and initiate. He's going to really try to prevent any sort of level 1 shenanigans. Although, if you take a look at Corky, Sona, Alistar, Darius, Fiddlestick, their level 1 is godlike.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Sorry, Renekton. So and Cat and stuff. So their level 1 is really strong, just by the sheer fact that you have Alistar.
Yup. All right, so here we see both teams coming out here, and again, I feel very strongly that Roshan now is level 1, team fight, leading a team at level 1. Just basically, I haven't seen him, get outplayed yet in a level 1, so it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun to watch, see what happens here. Because if Kabam gets caught out again, it's not gonna be good for them. And it looks like they want to go over there. They want to disrupt the jungle. Although no wards or anything went down. It looks like a lot of pings coming down from both players. They know what's going on right now. But I can't believe they want any part of the blue team at a fight, and they might come in there, and now they're gonna try to make a play. This is actually gonna happen, but they're gonna hide. They're gonna do this. I think they're seriously gonna do this.
This is the reverse of what happened to the. This is the reverse of what was pulled off at Vancouver. How did Otter's mouse die a second time? What is this guy using, rechargeable batteries with a 30-minute lifespan? No wonder he lost 50 elo. I'm just kidding. So, what we're going to see here, most likely, so typically what happens if you're blue side and you're going to be invaded, what you might end up doing is kind of warding near blue, and then standing in that wall behind the wolf camp, just as kind of a hidden, and then you just wait for them to start. What I didn't see Roshan do was drop a ward here on blue, but they are moving into this position where they can wait to see if that team will come up, and they might get a chance to get a 5-on-4 or a 5-on-3. Yeah. Oh, there's that ward. All right, great. So what they've done now is they've got this ward here.
This is one of their typical hidey spots. They've used it a lot on teams when they expect to invade. Like if you saw Roshan's team playing with an Amumu, they'd probably hide in the same spot to deal with an invasion. And now red team, they're looking for them, but they have to be asking themselves, are they? They're sitting there right now. Where are they? We saw they didn't come in.
Oh my God!
Oh, see, I told you. I'm telling you, Roshan now. The mastermind getting owned, and there it is. Gonna get picked off for first blood. Kabam's gonna go down surely as well. Ignite going off. Altec actually really low here. Otter flashing out, do a little deke action there, and there you have it. Team Canada with the level 1 advantage right there. Sorry, Claymore, you're not gonna be able to blue pill from there. Not gonna happen, buddy.
Oh no, Satsu actually aggroing the blue minion. Not going to be good for him. He's going to
real terror.
So, we're going to see another pause here. This is probably the, hey, who wants to remake pause?
I told you, man, seriously, because level 1 to me is the most interesting part of League of Legends because there's so much potential to do stuff like that. Outthink your opponents, outplay your opponents. It's so chaotic. Everybody's level 1. Where do you make sacrifices? What summoner spells do you blow? How does that change the complete beginning of the game and moving forward? It's a really interesting stage for me. And seriously, teams with Roshan now on it, seriously, I never see them lose that little chess game. And right there we saw them. This is the second time they've won it. Completely well played. Totally had them fooled. Did not expect it at all. And I have to give them just big props.
So the good news, there's not much of it, but the good news for the USA team is that they still have a lot of their summoner spells.
Yeah.
Kinetics flashes down, so he's going to be somewhat of a liability. but he still got his Ignite up. Darius has Ignite Flash up. Lulu still has Exhaust. So there's still, there's still a little hint. And actually, what I noticed is they did pick up a kill. So it wasn't like a total loss where they gave up 2 kills. They did give up first blood, and they did pick up 2 kills for the Canadian team.
Yeah, and they didn't lose their buffs either, which is key too. So Amumu's not going to have that problem before again, where he kind of falls behind a little bit. And right there we see Bichu coming in there a little bit for a little bit of harassment onto Kennick.
It's not going to work.
Yeah, it does not pay off. So it's gonna be interesting to see how this actually plays out here. And he might just go into a little bit of a farm mode here. And we see Alistar actually does have his blue buff. He's heading up into the enemy jungle now. If there was any wards here, or Red expected this, be a very dangerous move, but he might think about coming down in here onto Kennick if he can. The flash is blown, so he knows that is up, but the pings go down, and Kennick's spider sense tingling this time, and he knows what's up.
Yeah, that's like, wait a minute. Where's Alistar? Oh.
Well, I mean, it's really careful.
Actually, no, he did. A ward somehow did get placed here in mid, so they've got that covered.
Which is a good play, and then of course now they have the information for that Amumu is rotating over there, but Alistar's behind, actually spending some time up there placing that ward himself. So Amumu is actually a little bit ahead of Alistar at this point, except for the fact that Alistar actually has 2 assists. But all in all, jungle path wise, Amumu doing a good job. And that's one thing about Kabam is that he's good at Amumu, but not just because he has his own kind of build and he knows he can land the skill shots. It's like he's played so much Amumu, he knows how to deal with getting counter jungled and stuff like that. We saw last game, even though he got counter jungled, his CS was really, really high. He had a lot of ways to try to catch up, but overall Longley was just getting more ganks in there and had the team gold. But otherwise, he actually wasn't completely blown out of the water like a lot of players would be if they got counter jungled that hard.
So one of the things I've noticed here is that Otter is just getting hardcore zone. He's actually only picked up 6 CS.
Ooh.
And Roshan just do a really good job here of zoning. They've got sustain and harass from Sona and Corki. I said it before and I didn't really mean it, but I'm starting to think
he's getting that itchy triggered finger. He's actually going past turret now, coming in here. Sorry, Satsula, you're not going to be able to escape out of this. They headbutt Otter into it. Exhaust comes into play. Double buff, and that is a kill right there. Longley, he was looking for mid. No dice denied. Comes in there. They're able to pick up a double kill on bottom, and this is all sorts of trouble for Team USA at this point.
Man, I really like that play.
That was dirty. But top lane looking good for Dark Terrors. Gets the Ignite up. He felt really confident about it, but he's actually going to go down, and Claymore's going to trade. Oh, no. He hung on there a little bit. He wasn't quite confident enough that he had the kill.
This is actually really good for Dark Terrors because there's about 1.5 to 2 creep waves that's going to get eaten by the turret. So it definitely worked out in his favor. Plus, he's now sitting on 10 more CS. Oh no, Kabam, what are you doing? Are you about to donate double buff to Altec?
Oh, maybe it's a extreme bait.
Oh, that would be the worst thing that you could do.
Now we see Bishu actually up in the enemy jungle, rotating around here. And I'm interested to see what he decides to do. They have 3 members in bottom. Kabam actually blue-pilled back out. Now, Bishu is actually rotating down here and possibly thinking about coming in. Are you serious? This is actually going to happen. This is going down. That is going down. That just happened.
You know what they need to do? They need to drop a ward right there in that tribe.
I would start warding the heck out of my own jungle. Because right now they're just having a field day. And actually they've, that's kind of cute too. After that rotation, Longley came up, pushed the lane, and actually got some extra experience to make up for the fact that he hasn't been farming a lot. And they're actually zoning out Satsilo already underneath this turret just because they're crushing this lane right now.
Yeah, a lot of a really key focus going on the bot lane. It's actually counter to what normally you would see. Junglers will typically, especially your gank-heavy junglers, will say, I'm going to try and stay camp top or mid, whichever one has, and try to get that solo lane to snowball. So what they're doing here is they're saying, hey, we've got a lot of top players. Ooh, and Claymore are going to go after Dark Terrors.
Yeah, he's been getting the better of him so far. after they came back to lane, pushing his lane in and actually going and diving in there, dealing his quick damage, getting those auto attack resets, and really just coming out ahead. And we see Kennick actually sitting in the brush here, possibly looking for something to happen, but he's just going to blue pill back at this point. Or run back to lane, looks like.
Does have his ult, and he's trying to set something up. Bishu, just, man, that's a lot of health on Cat, and I'm trying to figure out why. And basically, he's got that early Ruby Crystal, and he's got like Cage's lucky pick. I like to sometimes call it Kage, for whatever reason. But he'll definitely be rushing Deathfire.
Oh, wow. Dark Terror had that ward, saw Ugly coming there. He knows he needs to beat feet. Claymore taking a little bit too many shots in there. But I'm sorry, but that Alistar skin, I just feel like whenever I see that skin, we saw that dive earlier, I just feel like he's indestructible. Like, he just doesn't die when he has that skin up. Like, if you look at that skin, I was like, I don't know how you kill that. It's a serious raid boss right there.
So Kabam actually going to pick up a free creep wave here. Will hit 6. So expect him and possibly Kenneth to start to set up a play. Maybe make what's going to help them get back in this game, because they're already down 2.5K this early. That's not a good sign. That means you are getting snowballed.
Yeah,
hard.
Altec already level 6 while Otter is level 4 in bottom lane. That's a whole pail of trouble.
So I think what they would like to do is either A, stave off Dragon, or B, try to pick up a Dragon. And if they can force a team fight with Fiddlesticks and a Momu, possibly in bot lane, that would definitely help them try to get back up. And Roshan's actually not in a good position.
He's got the backup though. I think he's got the pain train. So I think he's sitting pretty good so far. Looks like Sasulu possibly rotating up here. Fiddlesticks coming down as well. Might try to have a steal in here on the Ignite, but he's going to have to pop his ult. In comes Fiddlestick. Kennick trying to deal some damage. Longley, the only one actually in his ult. He's just tanking right through it. Exhaust comes down onto Bichu. Bichu, is he going to fall? Yes, he is. Sasulu is still alive, but there we go. Roshan now with the crescendo, following it up. It looks like Altic coming there. He just needs one more last rocket. There it is, picking up another kill. And they are just not letting up. Nowhere is safe. That is the story of this game. This almost reminds me kind of, we saw at Vancouver. We mentioned Vancouver earlier. We saw a pretty close game, we saw this crew right here. Most of these players, Roshan now, Altec, and crew lose their game 2. Then they came back and they just they
absolutely rolled.
Put the pedal to the metal.
Liquidity and. Tsunami, and I mean there was 2 really good teams at Vancouver.
The other half of VVV.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of almost similar. They're picking on Otter much like they picked on Liquidity, and Liquidity was really like the heart and soul of that team that was at Vancouver, because they weren't really doing great in lanes, but Liquidity was always ahead as an AD player. And Kennick, this mid fiddle, not quite working out the way they wanted it to.
Oh yeah, this Alistar cat is brutal.
Yeah, this is...
I mean, Longley is actually 1 level ahead of Fiddlesticks. That's not a good sign.
Yeah.
Looks okay. They actually just dig. So we're not trying to make fun of any team. We're just trying to point some things out. Like I said, Team USA, what they're going to want to try and do to get back in the game is they want to start dragging this out. Their late game is pretty damn strong between Sivir and Fiddle, and Darius is not much of a late game, but the ability to stack their alts and have a solid team game with that AoE is something that if they can start to drag this out and turtle it up a little bit, they haven't lost any turrets, so that's a good sign, and they haven't lost a dragon yet. They are down quite a bit, but they still have a chance to really get back into it.
Yeah, Kabam trying to help top. Meanwhile, Cat rotating down here onto the bot lane, going to try to follow up something here. There's a lot of burst damage to Sasulo, and just going to back off, and it just leaves more breathing room for this bottom lane to farm up his
Kabam face planning.
Oh no, that's not good. Actually gets headbutted a little bit to safety there. Kind of working out for them, gets sucked in, but Longley, he's too tanky. They weren't really going to do anything with that pull in. I'm just going to back off out of this. Looks like red team not getting the better of this, but they actually have Fiddlesticks.
I like what's going on. Yeah.
But,
and his ult is up. He does have Ignite, and he doesn't have Flash though. Wow. Claymore. It's like he knows he's there.
He has to. It's almost like he knows. Oh, here it comes. There's the fear, and you're in trouble, buddy. I'm sorry. There's bold, and then there's double dash out to safety, apparently. Apparently he knew. So they just blew all the alts, took mid turret. Like, is this for real? Like,
I want to know, like, if we ever get a chance to be like, all right, did you think Fiddle was in there and you tried to bait, like, what's going on?
Number one question for that guy. Like,
he doesn't have
if you see that and you're just like, yeah, it's okay, I'm gonna blow their stuff and just get out of this, like, no problem. We actually even see Bishu on the roam right here, kill some goals. They can probably take top turret here shortly. Altec just pushing hard bottom. They know they're so strong now. They have to commit a lot of resources to even try to stop this push if they want to, and they can back off at any time.
So this is what you kind of want to do with a snowball composition. Once you've established that advantage, you then start to open up the map by taking out these outer turrets, and then you do a lot of roaming and picking off in transition, because they're like, oh shit, we're behind. What do we do now? Oh, we have to try and farm. Well, at this point, they're not going to let off, because now that they've taken out these tier 1 turrets, now they're not going to open up objectives such as Dragon, and in a few minutes, potentially Baron. And there's not much the Team USA can do here. They're just backed up so far at this point, and those lanes have just continually pushed, and they're falling behind not in just gold, but in levels and in map control.
Oh, no, Sasu's going to eat a lot of damage here from Altec. He's going to use his ult, but it's all going to be for naught. She's getting chased after by Valkyrie. Otto trying to do his best to escape us. Doesn't have a lot of mana. They're able to catch him at all. This is pretty much over. And, he's going to get the spell shield, and he is good. And now it's just up to Kennick, who's getting caught out here. And this is just brutal. There's so much damage between this comp right here. Roshan now getting 1v1'd a little bit by Kabam, but he's not too worried. He has some backup here. Kabam just hugging that turret. And really, right now, it's up to Team Canada. They can pretty much push whatever objective they want on the map. I would say they need a few more wards. They actually have the Oracle there. They're clearing out a lot of wards. If we look at the red team's vision, they have nothing anywhere. Pretty much all blind. Kabam just going in there for funsies. Gonna back out.
Yeah, I mean, if he'd have been able to sort of save that ult for Sivir and Lulu to come down in here, they might have been able to do something about it, but... Ooh, Dark Terrors. It might be taking down Claymore.
Oh, Ignite's going down, though. Ult turned on. Getting chased down. There it is. Flash after flash out. Sucked in. Turret shot. This is so close. They're just waiting on cooldowns at this point. And
I love the exchange that's going on between these two.
Dives in. He gets the stun! And Claymore's going to get it.
So, Canadian team pulling out all the stops, destroying Team USA's hopes and dreams right now.
I mean, I love the USA team. There's a lot of parts of me that root for both these teams because I like both these players quite a bit, and I was hoping for something to happen. But really, I mean, you gotta hand it like from the opening. Like, this game has just been played so well by them, like by Team Canada. Like, it's not even funny. Like, I don't know. Like, this is some pretty high caliber play from them coming down here.
So we definitely know there's over $1,000 and swag and/or prize going to go to the winning team.
Yep.
A lot of that in some hardware. There's definitely some cash and some RP going to the winning team. Second place team will take cash as well. Not as much, clearly.
Yeah.
But right now, you'd have to say that things are looking really good here for the Canadian team to take the second. Oh, they're going to put a lot of damage here on Dark Terrors. Long Lee is going to take some turret shots here.
Yeah, that's what he does, tank those turrets, but this is not actually a good scenario for them in this top lane. Kind of losing here. Claymore is gonna need some help here, and there it is. Alistar coming in there doing the headbutt pulverize combo, but he's still gonna fall, and Longley just really wants to keep his oracles at this point. There's another kill. Fiddlestick's coming in here. He's gonna be able to take out Altec right there. Great move. The question is, can he actually run down Roshan now? Looks like he has the speed to do it. Roshan now, I don't know if he's going to be able to do this. He actually gets off his slow, tries to juke out of it, get a little bit of health right there. Going to get feared for 3 seconds, get drained. Now he's going to run for it, and he should be safe.
Oh, yeah, especially they know Cat's coming up in here. So he's going to definitely run. And you know what? Picking up that max godlike bonus, that's definitely a good way to start getting back into the game. Altec was actually worth 600 bonus gold and Killspeak bonus.
Yeah, so one of the reasons you actually, you ban Bishu from Katarina is actually the night of EoS, the first night over He's like, oh, look at this ranked game I just played, and I went and watched it, and he went 30. I think he went 31 and like 10 or something as Katarina, something disgusting.
Did he
And,
really?
yeah, and I was like, oh my gosh. So, I mean, and you know, a lot of this is in part to the fact that his team started off so well. Longley's an amazing jungler to support him too, so a lot of this is on his team as well. For Hollywood, but like, you know, game one, he's a really top player. He demands some bans, which is a really strong thing to have on a team like this. Like you know, to draw out certain bans that you typically wouldn't see from a lot of players. To be that strong of a player is a really good asset to have on any kind of, you know, team competitive format like this. It's kind of like, you know, before. It's kind of like Froggen, you know, pulling an Anivia ban or something like that from a team, or Hotshot GG in the old times pulling out Nidalee bans. Stuff like that. That actually can be an asset to your team.
Speaking of that, I know Bishu was telling us when we were at our meet and greet, and we're going to see a play here on the turret. I don't think anything much is going to come from this.
Ooh, flash out by Longley. He's actually going to live through this. In comes Katarina. Alt comes off to cancel it. Good reaction time actually from Kabam there. They're going to be able to pick off a kill. Will Kabam fall? It's going to be so close. He barely lives. Shut down. And so there we go. A little bit of life from Team USA. Kabam had about probably 15 health after a regen. Now he's sitting at about 30. Probably had about 15 health there for that night. Was one tick away from death. Claymore. But yeah, so
no, I was just saying, I kind of at our meet and greet, I was talking to Vishu, and we're like, oh, you know, he's like, you know, what's your strongest champs? He's like, well, if I get a chance to play in Italy, I'm not going to lose, no matter what. It doesn't matter what lane. And I was like, wow, is it really that good? And ooh, Otter making a play here. It looks like Claymore going to get picked off.
Yeah, Claymore, I saw this coming for quite a while. Pushing that lane a little. I mean, Team K has to be a little bit careful. They are pretty far ahead, but you don't want to get too cocky and start, you know, throwing a little bit. But I'm sure they still have a grasp of this game, but don't want to give up the silly deaths. I want to play a clean game, but you said, you know, so what you said? So you said, well, is it just that good, or
say, like, you know, hey, my Nidalee is just that good, and you know, and we're like, well, you know, what is Hotshot's Nidalee like? You know, because he's like, well, the question I get asked the most is like, is your Nidalee better than Hotshot's? And he's like, all right, Hotshot's Nidalee, not that good.
I mean, Hotshot's Nidalee was good for the time. Like, if we're talking about like Hotshot's, like his heyday as Nidalee, we're talking like a year and a half ago. It's like, I mean, that's like how long ago it was when Hotshot's GG's Nidalee was pretty much like super relevant. Like, it's not bad, but I mean, I would say I would probably side with Bishu if someone asked me if it was better than Hotshot's.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Dark Terror's trying to make some plays. Banish Toss comes in, it misses. In comes Longley trying to get some support in there. Has that Oracle, doesn't want to lose it. Going to get Fear taunted, actually going to be able to get out of it with his ultimate, but doesn't have a lot of damage support, so he's just really harassing right now. But in comes Bishu on the side, dealing out that damage, juking back out of it. Alt comes in from Kennick, but he's just going to be able to get Roshan now at best, it looks like here. In comes Otter trying to get some damage, almost gets bursted down right away by Bishu. Bishu trying to follow us up. Kabam looks like he's going to fall as well. Bishu on the hunt, wants to jump in there. He is going to be able to get him, but will he survive the turrets? No, he isn't. Can't survive 2 turrets. Sorry there, buddy. Just really.
So yeah, the Ace coming down here for the Canadian team.
He was actually a really cool player because I hadn't met him before. I heard a lot about him. He actually some backstory to him. He was actually going to leave the VVV team. Actually broke down. But he actually, he had a weird, basically birth defect with his ribs. We had to get a surgery, and eventually, when he had it done in Canada, apparently